In this video, I will share some exciting changes that Oracle is making to the eBusiness suite of applications. I'm Gail, a solutions architect in Oracle's application division. I'm going to demonstrate an example of these cutting-edge extensions to the product of Enterprise Asset Management, or EAM, and Internet Procurement. Taking on the role of the maintenance planner, I'm immediately presented an overview of work order information in the form of metrics, in the form of activities, in a cloud, that are happening to my assets. I have various charts, and on the left I see that I have an open search box and guided navigation that can help me focus on my work. As that material planner, I'm responsible for scheduled work orders to make sure they have material that's required to do the job. So I search by material, and I'm going to select those in the status that are awaiting material planning. When I make this selection, my results is immediately focused on that selection, reducing the work order count to a focused set of 9 work orders. I see that work is presented to me in a number of different time buckets, and I also see on the left my guided navigation that allows me to focus specifically on those work orders, in this case, that are for breakdown, since these are more important to me in prioritization of the work I need to address. By selecting breakdown, my work is immediately reduced to a set of focused work orders that are for breakdown, and I can also sort that by start date so that I can address requirements in order. From here, I can drill directly into the work order details, where I'm presented the work order information regarding its activity, the asset location, the asset parent, and I see, based on the operation, that it's been evaluated by a technician that I need to replace the lift motor. I know as a planner that we don't stock this in our MRO inventory. So I'm going to navigate directly to my purchasing catalog to order a replacement motor. I'm presented the Internet Procurement EBS extensions for Endeca, and from there I can search for relevant catalog parts related to the asset that I'm working on, the elevator. I can focus on the specific type of spare, which is a motor, and narrow that catalog result to the items that I'm interested in. I see in the guided navigation that I'm also presented a number of refinements specific to motors that allow me to specify what particular aspects on a motor I need. In this case, my elevator has 1-to-1 roping, so I'm going to use that to further filter the result set. I have yet again reduced the results to a focused set of parts that may be needed for my elevator. Before I make final selection, I'd like to compare those so that I can review and ensure that the detailed specifications are correct for the part. I select those and present the same information in the compare view. I see a various number of item attributes giving me information about the purchasing category, the contracted supplier, the manufacturer part number. In this case, I'm driven to parts that are sourced, and I'm also presented specific refinements about those motors. I selected through guided navigation the roping, so my results is reduced to this, but I'm also interested in viewing all of my different attributes together, so I'm going to move that down to focus everything that is different in the same section of my compare view. Now I know that this particular elevator operates on a 30 amp breaker, so I'm going to select one of the 30 amps and set this as my baseline for comparison. I now see that there are only 2 motors that are effective for my replacement part. And in this, I know that this is a passenger elevator. So I am not needing something that is 28 horsepower. The 13 horsepower is more appropriate for my selection. So I navigate back to my list view where I can select a quantity of that particular motor and add it to my shopping cart. So very quickly I was able to focus on parts for my asset, being the elevator, focus on spares that relate to the motor that requires replacing, indicate some specification about the elevator that narrows my results, compare those results, and add it to my cart. As I check out, my source document is captured because this is on an agreement with a supplier. The requisition knows that this is for the work order from which I accessed Internet Procurement, and I can submit this requisition for processing. When I return to EAM, my work order will now show in the materials area that the item for the motor has been ordered. It's been placed on a requisition and a purchase order since there's an agreement in place. As the planner, I can now update that work order, changing the status from awaiting material planning to released. As you have seen, I went from information discovery, providing me an overview of metrics and charts, and very quickly focused on specific transactions requiring attention. Using contextual searches, guided navigation, and interactive results, I was able to identify and prioritize transactions and drill seamlessly into the application to take action. We look forward to sharing more of these revolutionary extensions to our eBusiness suite of applications.